It was a cool spring morning in a quiet West Virginia town when the rumble of Harley-Davidsons broke the silence. The Iron Sons Biker Club, leather-clad, bearded, loud, pulled into the local VFW hall. Their leader, Bear, a grizzled ex-con with arms like tree trunks and pain buried deep, led them inside. 3 Marines sat at a metal table, all wounded in combat, all searching for purpose beyond war. Corporal Jake, Whiskey Whitman, had lost his leg to an IED. Sergeant Leo Martinez battled PTSD and a shattered shoulder. Private First Class Danny Tran, the youngest, was fresh from surgery with shrapnel in his side. They came to the VFW looking for answers or just a reason to stay sober. When the bikers entered, tension filled the air. Tattoos versus uniforms. Freedom versus order. Then Bear walked up to Jake, nodded at his prosthetic leg. "You ride?" "Used to," Jake said, "before the sand took my bike and my leg." Bear grinned. "We got a 3-wheeler with your name on it." Just like that, the wall began to crack. Over the next few weeks, something unexpected happened. The bikers, ex-cons, addicts, veterans, kept showing up. They brought bikes. They brought stories. They brought silence when words failed and noise when ghosts screamed. They called it throttle therapy. Every Saturday, the Marines rode with the Iron Sons through winding roads and open skies. No one talked about trauma or war. They just rode. The wind became their battlefield. The roar of engines drowned out memories. Danny laughed again, for the first time since the explosion. Leo opened up, not to therapists, but to Patch, a biker who'd lost his brother to heroin. Jake rode that trike like it saved him. One night, after a charity ride, they gathered around a bonfire. Stars above, Bear raised a beer. "To the brothers we lost and the brothers we found." In that moment, they weren't Marines or bikers. Just men who'd seen too much, finding in each other what they didn't know then. Brotherhood. Epilogue. A year later, Steel and Simpy was born, a non-profit biker veteran alliance. They rebuilt bikes for wounded warriors, held PTSD rallies, and proved healing doesn't always wear a white coat. Sometimes it wears black leather and rides a Harley. Summer in southern West Virginia was brutal. Roads burned. But Jake, Leo, and Danny rode every Saturday. More veterans joined. Word spread. Something was happening. Something real. Something the VA couldn't prescribe. But not everyone approved. At a town council meeting, Councilman Rohr sneered. "These bikers bring noise, alcohol, and God knows what else." "They bring life," said Jake's sister Jenny, a local EMT. "You think pills save these guys? Wake up." Still, the Sons had a past. Fights, smuggling rures. Change came slow. Bear felt it every time someone crossed the street to avoid him. But he also saw the truth. These Marines were healing. A new arrival. One night, while the crew worked on a Sportster, a car pulled up. Out stepped Staff Sergeant Mia Rivera, sharp eyes, a limp. She tossed a duffel bag on the table. "You got room for one more?" Danny choked on his soda. Leo stood. Always. Mia had done 3 tours. Her CO froze during an ambush. Her squad paid the price. She never spoke about it until she met Patch. They bonded over bourbon and broken parts. By the next ride, Mia was on a matte black Indian Scout. Her braids in the wind, her pain in the mirror. The breakdown. Healing isn't straight. Jake was doing fine until he saw a Hummer flip off a trail. Screams. Crunching metal. He dropped to his knees. Couldn't breathe. Bear held him. "Breathe, Marine. You're not there. You're here." Jake wept. The Sons didn't flinch. The Marines didn't turn away. They all knew sometimes the bravest thing is letting yourself fall so you can stand again. Steele and Simpy grew. They launched Ride and Rise weekends, barbecue rides, open mics for veterans to speak or sit in silence. Civilians showed up, donated, listened. Even Roar came one night, quiet, alone. His son had taken his life 2 years after Iraq. "I thought this was dangerous," he said, voice shaking. "I was wrong. You're saving lives." The sun dipped, thunder rumbled, not from storms, but from 24 bikes. Bear led. Behind him, Marines, bikers, addicts, amputees. And one woman in black leather. They weren't running from pain anymore. They were riding into something better. Prologue. Old wounds ride back. The Iron Sons had a rule. Leave the past behind. But the past doesn't always stay buried. One evening, black bikes rolled into town. No plates, red serpent patches. The Vipers, a 1% gang from Ohio. Bear once rode with them. Before prison, before he walked away. Their leader, Crow, cornered him. "You got soft. Playing dad to war heroes? That ain't you." "You don't know me anymore," Bear replied. Crow sneered. "You leave the Vipers, you owe blood or bikes." Bear kept it quiet, tried to handle it alone, but bruises showed. Mia followed him and saw the meeting. Leah snapped. "You think we fought in hell so you could fight this alone?" "I didn't want to drag you into it," Bear yelled. Danny, quiet until then, stepped forward. "We are your mess. That's family." The threat grew. Slashed tires, fires, threats to Marine families. Then a note. 1 week. Leave or burn with the town. They had a choice. Run, fight, or fall apart. Preparing for war. The VFW became a fortress, not with weapons, but people. Locals boarded windows. Veterans took shifts. The sheriff deputized Leo and Mia. Even Roar showed up with a shotgun. "Tell me where to stand." The town had seen enough loss. They weren't backing down. Bear stood before them. "I've done wrong, but this is the first thing I'm proud of. If they want me, fine, but they don't get you. Not today." The standoff. The Vipers rolled in at dawn, dozens of bikes. They expected fear. What they saw? Marines and bikers shoulder to shoulder. No guns, just resolve. Bear walked forward. Crow sneered. "You gonna beg?" "No," Bear said, holding out his old Viper patch. Then he lit it on fire. Ashes blew down the street. Crow growled. "Last chance. Traitor." Then Mia stepped beside Bear. Then Jake, Danny, Leo, Patch, the town. Crow looked around. He wasn't facing bikers. He was facing something bigger. A brotherhood built in fire, rebuilt in peace. He turned. "Let's ride." Aftermath. No cheers, no victory speech. Just 30 bikes through town, through mountains, through rain. The mayor offered Bear a key to the city. He declined. "Just keep the roads open," he said. "More riders are coming." Closing Steele and Simpy became a national movement. Chapters in 5 states. Bikers and Marines side by side, healing, building, riding. Because sometimes the road doesn't lead away from war. Sometimes it leads home.